So we're rolling now, yeah? Hey, how you doing, Warriors? This is Shogun, and today I am really excited because we have the man himself, the legend, in my car, so he can't escape me. So we're gonna pick his brain while he's here, Mr. Peter Wolfing. We're just gonna, talk about some stuff because we're in a big traffic jam. As you can see, it's like we're not going anywhere. It's so I figure it's a good video app to get it to pick his brain and to actually help you guys that are really wanting to know why network marketing, what is the real deal with network marketing, and why just do it. So I guess the first introduction is let Peter introduce himself because he's the man. There you go.
All right. See, he brings new meaning to the words captive audience. So guys, it's every time I see this and I see the people commuting back and forth, and I don't know what your commute is, but this is getting in and out of Manhattan is crazy, and I thank goodness that I have a 10-foot commute every single day that I can just work right in my computer, and that's one blessing that you can't put dollar signs on. You only get so much time in your life to be able to live your life, and I mean, how many hours a week, a month, a year, a lifetime do you spend commuting that you can't put a price tag on? It's crazy. So people don't necessarily think about that in one of the savings they're doing with network marketing and the time savings, but it's such a great feeling to be able to just go to your computer and make money. It's almost like you're pulling money out of thin air, so it's excellent.
And that's one of the reasons why I joined, because one, I'm not lazy, but I just don't like traveling far to get to a job I do not like in hopes that I don't get fired. It is the most ridiculous thing. And I think Bob Proctor brought it to my attention that, when he was younger, he would get up at 5 in the morning, commute 2 hours to work, hope that he doesn't be late, hope that he does his job right, go home, get really tired, all he could do is crash, and do the same thing over and over again and hope to not get fired. I'm like, that's what I'm doing. I'm not doing this no more. So I went for a few companies trying to get the home-based business started, and nothing really panned out until I got an email from somebody from National Wealth Center inviting me in. And wow, just the whole thing about the concept of why National Wealth Center exists just blew my mind, and I had to just drop everything and come here, and I'm really glad I did. So I guess my question to you, Peter, is what got you into network marketing? What was your draw?
Well, I've always been a business-minded person since the age of 5. So ever since I can remember, I've always been thinking about business and making money, and I just had that in my blood. But I was working 60, 70, 80 hours a week. I was in the restaurant business at the time, and although I kind of liked what I did, I was just tired of it, and I didn't know what I didn't know. So after about 4 tries, one of our customers came in and finally got me to go to one of the hotel meetings at the time, and he drove me over there because if I had to drive myself, I wouldn't have made it. I wouldn't have went. Mm-hmm. And I just was introduced to the concept of network marketing because, as I said before, I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't know that this type of thing existed, and it just, at that moment, it just opened up my eyes to say, wow, if this is really real, it's just a godsend for me to be able to have a business on a global basis from my living room. And so I saw it as a godsend to me, and I just saw it as pure leverage. Instead of having to leverage monies to open up a restaurant, hundreds of thousands of dollars my parents put into the restaurant business, and to remortgage their home to be able to do that, and you can start for a few $100s in your own business and be able to expand it from there, just one person at a time. And I didn't start it out full time, so I started out in my spare time. I said, let me think about it overnight, and I was in the next day, and I got whatever it said. I was all in. I bought whatever I needed to buy, and I was in. So that started my whole career, and it didn't start out great at the beginning, as most people have the same type of thing. People didn't show up, and family said, no, what are you doing? So I had the same results as a lot of other people have, and most people have in network marketing, but I just wouldn't quit, and I knew in my heart of hearts that it was real, and just kept on plugging along and just learning my skill and learning my craft. And it's been 25 years later that it's been one of the best things I've ever done.
Yeah, that's a very similar story with me. It wasn't a hotel meeting. It was just I was looking, so I just tried whatever. And the problem I had was that it was lack of leadership, lack of really people being there for my benefit and make me a leader so that I can lead others. It was just, okay, good, you joined. Watch these videos, good luck. I was like, that's it? I felt like a fish in like this big pond with nothing, with no knowledge of what to do. So I really had a bad taste in my mouth. And what happened was, when I decided to take charge of my own career, my own business, where I started going to YouTube and doing research and finding out how to blog or how to vlog and how to do videos and how to speak and just do the one-on-one belly-to-belly business, that's when I really started achieving. And National Wealth Center has all of that combined into one great product. So it was like synergistic for me, that all the hard work I put in, I'm seeing the fruits of the labor. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that, yeah, you're gonna receive a lot of struggle in your business, but that's when you get to the point where you're achieving your goals, when all of it becomes really worth it. And then at that point, you are the leader that you should be for others, and then you can become that blessing to others. And that's what I always stress with my team, is like, listen, you're going through heartache because somebody is going to need that advice sooner or later. And being that you went through it, you can give it because it's part of you. And that's what you want. And that's why I like network marketing, because you're actually giving yourself to people to help them be successful. And it's not like, okay, sit behind this desk, make these phone calls,
take exit 24 to the left onto Interstate 95 South.
We're using GPS. So it was just that's what attracted me, that I could help people be successful and really share my experience, and that's what makes my experience valuable as yours experience. Well, I'm sure you had like a lot of hard times starting up and stuff like that. Okay, if I were to ask you your craziest story, what would it be?
Well, you're absolutely right. I had a lot of hard times, and as Steve Wynn from Wynn Casinos in Las Vegas, kind of Mr. Las Vegas, he said that you're going to have dark days. You're going to have a lot of dark days. You're going to have probably more dark days than you aren't, or not going to have not dark days. But the good days that you have are so good that makes it all worth it. Mm-hmm. But those dark days you have, or when you get rejected, or the little dark days that you have, and things like that, it just molds who you are in the business, and you become stronger. You just don't go and do anything and you're successful out of the gate and never have any problems. When you go skiing for the first time, you fall down. Mm-hmm. That's how you learn. You get stronger. You know, whatever doesn't kill you make you stronger. Or when you work out, no pain, no gain. That type of thing. And this is no different in this business. You just have to learn your craft by falling down and getting rejected, and learning your craft and learning your skill, and eventually you'll get that much better at it in the business. But yeah, I mean, well, my worst thing was, as soon as I got started in the business, my family and all the different people I invited, 20 to 25 people, one person showed up. Mm-hmm. So if that didn't blow me out of the water at that point, and my family is still not in the business. You know, my parents, my sisters, and they know how well I do in the business. And I went to go do something with my sisters. I have a twin sister and older sister. And they saw me on the phone working like an animal, you know, and they said, that's not for me. They just can't see that, right. You know, and they're like, no matter how much money you make, it's not for them. But that's how I work. I just work very hard for what I achieve. So you got to understand that it's just not in the blood for everyone. So as much as you want it for them, sometimes it's just not for them. Some people just are very happy with just having a job, working for someone else, and that's just who they are, and that's perfectly fine. So, but you have to understand that it's not you. Right. It's just not for them. So, but there are plenty, and I'm talking lots of people out there, millions of people out there that it is for them. But they're like me. When I first got started, I didn't know what I didn't know, and I didn't know there was an alternative. And you just got to find them. They're out there. They're all over the place. But you can't tell by just looking at them. You just have to be the person on the spot to open up their eyes and say, "Listen, are you looking?" And a lot of people are closet entrepreneurs. They're kind of looking, but they don't know they're looking. Right. You know, but you have to. But if you show it to them, that's give them that little crack in the door, and then they'll say, "Oh, what is that? Oh, really? That is something that I would be interested in." So, but if you never ask, you're never going to know.
Exactly. Right. I had this one lady, and to me, she seemed like she was like the bomb. She's actually manager of a clothing store. in one of the malls, and you see her hustle. She's doing this, she's doing that, she's delegating. I was like, she's good, right? So I had to talk to her. I told her about the event, and I gave her the ticket, and she said, yeah, me and my boyfriend, it looks like something we could do. She texted me today and said, I don't think it's for me. Doesn't even know what it is yet, but it's just not for her. And that's okay. Eventually she might actually, go to the website, see the videos that we're doing now, the videos that we're going to do from the events, and she might come around. I don't know. But the thing is, don't be afraid to plant seeds. Eventually you're going to get a forest, but you got to do a lot of seed planting, man. You got to just tell everybody about what you're doing and how it may be able to answer some questions. My whole thing is, I love the fact that when I talk to somebody, I can, through the teachings, I can actually use the rebuttals, like, I don't have time, what do you say with that? It's a pyramid scheme, what do you say with that? Oh, that's just that online marketing stuff, what do you say with that? And because I'm learning all of these things through the National Wealth Center, it's really picked up my game to the point where I could spew this stuff with no problem, and that's where I want my team to be. I want them to be like that person that any question or rebuttal you have, oh yeah, but this is what it really is. You know what I mean? But with confidence, and I think I guess the next part of this discussion is knowledge is not power to me. The application of it is. I say that once you learn what to say, go out there and say it. You're gonna mess up a few times at the beginning. That's just a given because it's a new language you're using. But as you keep doing it, it becomes second nature. What do you think about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can. A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll say, okay, I'm going to go to this course, or I'm going to take this seminar, or I'm going to read this book, and they just read so many of that stuff and go to so many different things, but they never apply it. And so I'd rather them get one book or do one course and really get drilled down deep and actually do it versus saying, okay, I read 12 books on personal development, but they never really go deep in anything. So yeah, you definitely have to go through and make sure you apply that and go through the school of hard knocks. But once the application, you're going to learn more during the application than you would in 10 books.
Oh yeah.
Right? So it definitely makes it worthwhile to be able to do that, and for people to be able to go through that process.
Me as a martial arts instructor, I didn't really understand the martial arts till I got my black belt and started teaching, because I had to see what they're doing wrong, and that expanded my mind to how to do it right. So the same thing with this business. You're not going to understand the true nature of growing your business until you just go ahead and start doing it and teaching others to be that mentor. Are you going to mess up? Of course. You're going to make mistakes? Of course. But don't be afraid of it.
Now keep left.
Okay, we're going to keep left.
Well, I did the same thing too when I was in the restaurant business, and when I first got started, I was off the plane right out of the Marine Corps in my parents' restaurant, and I didn't know anything about restaurant business. And so I started, and the chef would go, get me this, get me that, get me this, get me that, and I did that for 6 months. Get me a tomato, potato, or this kind of meat. I didn't know one thing from one thing, and I did that for 6 months, and then eventually I got behind the line, and I actually started making the food, which I learned more in a week than I did in 6 months.
Yes.
Because the application of it just gelled everything together. So it was just all just different pieces, but you put the whole recipe together and everything comes together. Now you see, oh wow, this is why this happens. This is, you put this together, it tastes like this. And the same type of thing, you do that type of thing with martial arts and with really anything else you're doing. If you put that application, you're going to be able to learn by leaps and bounds, and your business is just going to go through the roof.
Right. The thing with that, you talked about earlier about the fear, and Miyamoto Musashi always says that everything is hard at the beginning, but you have to then immerse yourself in what you're most fearful of to become the best at it. And a lot of times I was really scared to approach people. I was really scared to respond to even an email, even though they know it's me, but there's no physical interaction. I was like, I don't know if I should send that email. They might think of this, and they might think I'm that. I'm like, well, let them think that, because whatever you do, you're teaching your team to do. And if you're successful getting past that and just doing it, then your team will do it. And the way I know how to follow a good leader is if they're doing what they're preaching. If they're doing the calls, if they're talking to people, if they don't have, okay, this is what I tell my team to do: take 10 business cards and prospect 10 people a day, and don't go home till you do that. your business will explode. If it doesn't, then you're learning how to approach people. You're learning the skills of introducing your business into whatever conversation you're having. Just 10 a day, I guarantee you, if you do that for 3 weeks, you're going to be a rock star. What do you think about that concept?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. We used to do a thing where we used to put pennies in our pocket, and and when we talk to one person, we take one penny out of one pocket, put it in the other pocket. So by the time okay, it's empty, I'm done. You know, and you don't stop until it's done. So yeah, definitely, and it's just making the calls and being able to be able to go through the numbers to be able to get those numbers up and
take the next exit to the right and then keep left.
Ultimately to build your business. So yeah, definitely, I totally agree with that. And so it's really comes down to you have to overcome the fear. You want to stay on this side. Okay, don't go this way. And you want to overcome the fear, and the sooner you can overcome the fear, the better you're going to be able to do in the business. Everybody knows that the fear is there. It's always part of anything you're doing. But if you can overcome the fear in little bite-sized chunks, then you can really do very well. There was a saying that you really only have to be brave 1 second at a time. Like when you're making the phone call, you don't have to be brave the whole time of the phone call.
Right.
You only have to be brave, just pick up the phone and dial on the phone. Once you do that, everything else is. They did a study with people jumping out of airplanes with parachutes. You ever hear that story? And it's crazy that they monitored people, and the fear was only up until they jumped out of the plane. After that, they were cool.
Yeah, they were fine. It was fun.
They were fine. It was fun, right? So once you get past that initial action at the beginning, then it all becomes fun, and eventually you start making it a game. So that's what I do many times too, and I just have fun with it, you know. So if someone's giving me a rejection here, rejection there about this, or it's a this and it's a that, I just have fun with it. I was out with a buddy of mine, and we just sat down. We're on the Jersey Shore having clams and a beer. And the guy says, "So what do you do with a living? Do for a living?" And I always said in my head, I was always dying to say, to do this to somebody. And the guy, my buddy, almost spit his beer out of everybody. He says, "Yeah, I set up pyramid schemes and I work with people to make a lot of money. And if you get started now, you're going to make a lot of money."
Wow.
And he died when I said that. But
wow.
I was having fun with it.
Yeah,
you know, and
yeah.
I was in. Just I didn't really at that point. I really don't care because you have to get past the fear, but then you have to get the belief as soon as possible. And belief comes through using the products and through going to events and meeting people and maybe getting paid the first time.
Right.
And as soon as you can get past that, you start getting the belief that nobody can tell you that it doesn't work, and nobody can tell you that it is what they think it is. So for me, it's I'm just unbreakable. You know, I have too many reference points to make what I see as being solid. So nobody can tell me that it doesn't work and it's not real. But as soon as people can get to maybe not to maybe the point I'm at, but at least from point A to point B to point C as far as the belief level, that's going to go very well with the overcoming fear.
What I like most about this business is that you could do it literally everywhere. There's somebody always to talk to at the movie theater, while you're shopping, while you're with your lady or your boyfriend, while you're at daycare. I mean, everybody is a prospect until they prove themselves that they're not. You know, and so when I say I'm a free man, I can literally go to the beach and make money. You know, and I guess people just don't understand that concept, because when I first heard that, I was like, yeah, right. But luckily, I had a job as a model scout. So it was my job to look for good-looking guys and girls, bring them into an open call. So they said, you can work anywhere. I was like, what do you mean anywhere? Do you go to the beach? Yeah. That's your office. I said, what? Right. And then I brought that concept to this business. It's like anywhere you go, you can work. And just have fun with it. Like you said, it's just about getting past that initial hello, or getting past that initial, hey, you ever keep your eyes open to make some extra money on the side kind of questions. And you'd be surprised. People say, yeah, because I guarantee 90% of people that are working in retail or any place don't want to be there.
Now exit to the right.
And if you can show them a way for them to make the same amount of money they're making there by not trading hours for dollars, they'll follow you forever.
So we're not model scouts, we're energy scouts.
There you go.
We're looking for energy. Looking for nice people with energy and just people.
That's it, man. Because I just love this business. This is the greatest thing, and of course, at the end of it all, the residual income. I mean, come on.
Right. Oh yeah.
You know.
That's the whole, I call it the holy grail of income is residual.
That's it, man. So that's pretty much it for now until we get to the actual event. Hope you guys learned something, got something out of it. I sure did. And
right.
you know, my whole thing is, my name is Shogun, and I'm a martial artist. And the warriorship.
Just on the left hand state.
Oh, so there's two
in the
lines
middle.
on that.
Yeah, there's two of them on
Okay,
there.
cool,
Yep.
cool. So I could go right by it. So what I'm saying is that there's a way, a better way, and sometimes you have to just
Keep
be that
left
warrior.
in 800 feet and continue to follow Interstate 95 South.
This is going to be a
Now
very
keep
interesting
left.
video.
It is, right? And the whole idea behind the concept of being a warrior is a warrior for humanity, and that's what I've been preaching to everybody that I come across. Is that it's not so much to make money, but to free people that you really love and care about, and show them a better way of living that really can impact the life of their children and their children's children. I mean, we're in a time where technology has made it so where you can make millions of dollars in your own home. Why not do it with a company that's teaching people how to do that? National Wealth Center is the truth, and I'm not leaving for anything. So again, hope you learned something. I hope you got something out of it. Myself and Peter Wolfing are humanitarian, monetary, and warriors, and we just want to share the wealth. So if you like what you see, contact me. My name is Shogun. My number will be on the bottom, but in case you don't want to read, it's 201-921-9076. Anytime, 24/7. I will pick up the phone. Love you all. Peace.